The performance coach here, and this video is designed for one of my clients, whether you're an individual one-on-one coaching client, whether you're a team consulting client, someone who I'm working with that wants to master the Google Calendar process for time blocking, time management, and organization. Now, the reason why we do time blocking using Google Calendar, and you have Google Calendar on your laptop, on your iPad, on your phone, is that it's seamless across devices. You can share it with me as your coach, or let's say you're on a team I'm working with, you can share it with your accountability partner, you can share it with your head coach, position coach, and we can all be on the same page and help support you in terms of where your time is going. And time blocking is the number one productivity tool. And when you can time block, and you give the dedicated time to the tasks that you need to do as part of your day, you're going to increase productivity. You're going to decrease stress because you're going to know what you need to do and when you need to do it. So let's get going. First thing, you're going to go to Google. And when you go to google.com, you're going to sign in. I'm going to sign in with my daughter's email. And if I'm going too fast, you just catch up by pressing pause, right? Press pause, catch up, and then follow. So I signed in to my daughter's email or Google account. I'm going to come up here to these 9 dots. I'm going to come down here to Google Calendar. Click on Calendar, and it takes me to Google Calendar. And you'll see there's not much here because she's 14 weeks old. However, we're going to get it dialed in. First thing that I'm going to do for her calendar, and it's the same thing you're going to do, is come up here to the settings wheel, and you're going to click settings. And you're going to scroll down here to where it says first day of the week and change that from Sunday to Monday. We're also going to click reduce the brightness of past events, show week numbers. We want to be able to know what number of the week it is. We click the back arrow, and now you can see it starts on Monday. And if I go into month view by clicking the M key, it shows me the different weeks, right? What week it is. So if you see up here, it says today. If I click on like the W key, it shows me the week view. If I click the D key, it shows me the day view. Y would be year, M would be month. It's up here on the right too. It'll drop down for you. There's the day. I typically will work in week or month view. So let's say we're in week view here. You know how to change the views. What I want you to do is to go over here to the calendar on the left side. It's probably going to say your name. Click on those 3 dots. Go to settings and sharing. Now, here's how you'd share it with somebody else. If you go down, this is the official calendar of LPGA winner Carol and Kendall Cain. I'm calling it right now, 14 weeks old. If you scroll down, you can share the calendar with somebody. So if you're a one-on-one coaching client of mine, you would share your calendar with me. You'd click add people. You'd type in Brian at briancain.com and give me permission to make changes to events and hit send. I'm then going to be able to just make changes to events. I'm going to be able to see your calendar and coach you through creating the ideal day, ideal week. Look, you got to know your ideal day and ideal week if you're going to have one. This is the start. So share your calendar with me if you're a one-on-one coaching client. If you're a team consulting client on a team I'm working with, you might share it with an accountability partner or a teammate of yours. You might share it with your position coach. You might not share it with anybody. But if you and I get on a call and we work together, I'm going to want to see your calendar. So when we get there, we'll deal with it. Now, for example, my daughter is a huge fan of the Cincinnati Reds and the Cincinnati Bengals. So check this out. Let's say you're a Major League Baseball NFL client of mine. You're going to go up here to Browse Calendars of Interest. You would scroll down to Baseball, Major League Baseball. Click on Cincinnati Reds. I can now see the Reds calendar. Oh, she likes the Bengals too. Let's go down here to Football, NFL, Bengals, and we click back. Now, if you look down here on the left, you can see how she has the Bengals calendar and the Reds calendar. So the Reds are off today. Good. They're playing the Brewers tomorrow. Should be a fun one. We're going to uncheck the Reds calendar, and we're going to uncheck the Bengals calendar because we don't want to see those for now. Now what we're going to do is start time blocking our ideal day. Well, how do I know what time blocks to use? Well, let me give you a quick little glimpse as to the time blocks we want to use. Okay. So here's an example of time blocks that you would have on your Google Calendar. So you'd start with having a PM routine. Your PM routine is how you're going to get ready to shut down to go to sleep. That PM routine may consist of your bathroom routine. It may consist of making sure the dogs have water in their bowls, locking down your house, setting your room to a certain temperature, let's say between 65 and 69. It would involve maybe doing some reading, maybe doing some meditation, laying your clothes out for tomorrow, preparing food for yourself or others in your family that you do that for. But that's your PM routine. You then schedule your sleep block, when you're going to be asleep. So the PM routine, if you're reading in bed, that'd be part of the PM routine. Sleep block is when you're like, want to be lights out and I'm out. AM routine, what do you do in the morning? That AM routine may consist of some sort of devotional, some reading, feeding your dogs or cats, pets. Your AM routine may revolve around doing some kind of mobility or some sort of stretching. I know a lot of golfers do an Agasku, I think it's called stretching routine. So you have that morning routine that you do where you invest into yourself. And the reason why the AM routine is so important is it allows you to invest into you before you start investing into everybody else. As a high performer, you're going to get pulled in a lot of directions, and the key is to invest into yourself first. Then you're going to list your physical training blocks, right? Your mobility, conditioning, strength. You're going to list your, deep work or maybe your academic blocks if you're a student. Your classes, when you're going to do homework, when you have tutors, study halls, when you have meetings. Your sports-specific blocks, right? Practices, games, tournaments, meetings, watching film. Your transportation, when you're driving, when you have your flights, if you're walking on campus or walking somewhere. Your nutrition, when you're eating, when you're meal prepping, when you're shopping. You're going to schedule your free time. You're going to schedule your family time. So your calendar should be blocked, as an example, like this. You can see using different colors, or like this. These are shorter blocks, a little bit more dialed in. This is an example of a college student. So you can see they have different classes and transportation, and when they're walking and they go into golf practice. This would be an example of a calendar of bigger blocks. The size of the blocks is up to you. I would always recommend being bigger before going smaller. So let's get started. Here's how we're going to do it back in Google Calendar. So I'm on Carolyn's calendar, and we're going to say, okay, she's going to go to sleep. Let's say, she's 14 weeks old. So we're going to say sleep block is going to be, I got logged out. Good. Let's log back in. Right back to it. Hammering. All right. So how did I get here? I'm going to click anywhere here inside of like this date, Thursday, June 16th. So let's just say let's say she wants to sleep 7:30 to 7:30 a.m. So 7:30 to 7:30 a.m. June 16 to 17. And I'm going to repeat that. When I use the repeat function, I always go to custom. And I'm going to select every day. So she's going to sleep ideally 7:30 p.m. to 7:30 a.m. every day. It's going to end on, and I'm just going to do for the rest of this month to June 30th. Done. I'm going to give a cool color. Let's make it black, sleeping. Boom. Call it a sleep block. And there we go. So you can see we start to put together the blocks for her calendar. So now she's going to wake up at 7:30. So what we're going to do is we're going to put in here for an AM routine. And her AM routine, I like to come down here in the morning. I'm going to say, okay, 7:30 to 7:45 a.m. Diaper. How do you spell diaper? Dipper. Diaper and bottle warm. 7:45 to 8 o'clock a.m. Bottle. 8 o'clock to 8:10 a.m. Crawling practice. 8:10 to 8:30 a.m. TBD. I don't know what we're doing. Depends on her. Depends on what she's doing. But I got that 30 minutes, and we're going to repeat this every day. Custom, set it as every day, and end on. Oops. June 30. Done. Save. So now you can see we got the AM routine. So then we like to go for a run. So we're going to call this a workout block. And this is going to be typically for her 8:30 to 9:30 a.m. this day. Run 5 miles in stroller. 8:30 to 9, and we're going to repeat that Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday. And we're going to end that on June 30th. Done. I'm going to change that workout block to be orange. Save. So there's the workout block. So then, after we work out, we're going to come home, and it's going to be nap time. So I'm going to click in here and type in nap block, and she's going to take an hour and a half nap, 9 to 11, and that's going to be every day, except Saturday and Sunday. She doesn't nap on the weekends. Save. All right, so now you can kind of see how we're starting to put this plan together. So now when she wakes up from the nap, we're going to do another, this is going to be lunch block. So we're going to have that lunch block. It's only half an hour though. And that repeats. We like to eat at the same time every day. So it's every day, but I'm just going to watch this. Instead of changing it and click on the repeating, I'm going to say every one day. And that ends on June 30. Done. And food, she's messy. We're going to have tomatoes. Red. Boom. There we go. So now, from, let's say we're going to drive, and we're going to go to the golf course. So I'm going to come here, and I'm going to put transportation. And it takes us 45 minutes. 11:30 to 12:15. Transportation, and this happens 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Again, I'm going to end that on June 30. Done. Color for driving, I'll go purple. Boom. All right. So now if we go to next week, you can see it's kind of starting to fill in, right? And that's what you do. You just map out your calendar that way, making blocks. Now, in the AM routine, you can see how in the notes I've put in what that AM routine is going to look like. That's going to be key. And then also I've put in there like the workout block, kind of, I might put in what I'm going to do. But for you as an athlete who I'm working with, you just want to kind of put the detail of what you're doing in those different blocks. Now, if you're a college student, for example, when I'm working at one of our top baseball teams in the country, these schools that have access to all their academics on Canvas or on, any of those other academic services that kind of list all your classes and your work and what's due when, you can integrate that with your Google Calendar. Just like you saw me integrate the Bengals and the Reds calendars, you can integrate that with your calendar as well. Let's say, for example, Carolyn wanted to follow Texas A&M. Texas A&M currently, at the time of me recording this video, is in the College World Series. So we're going to go to Texas A&M baseball schedule, and that's on the SEC. So I need to go actually to their website. Here we go. And see right up here it says add to calendar. Watch how easy this is. I'm going to click add to calendar, Google, subscribe now. Boom. And check it out. Carolyn just added the 12th man baseball calendar. So if I come over here and click settings, I can change this to say Texas A&M baseball. I come back. Look, there's their game tomorrow. It's on there. I uncheck it, it disappears. So she's going to watch tomorrow. Oof, A&M, she's going to want to have lunch early. So let's move that there. You can see I'm just changing that event. I'm going to move the lunch block back. And I just want to move this event because if I click, hey, let's move this and following, it's going to change all these other events that are linked to this one. So I'm going to just do this event. Transportation, we're not going to go. We're going to go after the game. So I'm going to slide that down there. Boom. So that way you can kind of set your blocks and then move the things around. So for example, let's say I click on this lunch and I say, let's edit up. Let's move this. Let's move this lunch to be at noon. Now if I click this and the following, watch this one over here on Sunday. This and following. Boom. They all move. Oh man, I made a mistake. What do? I hit Command Z and it should undo. Let's see, not working. Edit. Undo. And not working. Good. So I'm just going to move it back to where it was, which was at 11, this and following. And they'll go with you. So that's how you play around with Google Calendar. So let's play with it. Let's have you start to block out your time. And once you get that going, that'll be advantageous. Last thing we're going to do here is I'm going to take my 30-day athletes program and Harvey Dorfman's ABCs of pitching and add them to this calendar. So here's how we're going to do it. And I'm going to link to these two documents so you can do this yourself. Settings and sharing, import, export. I'm going to select the file from my computer, so you're going to have to download this or I'll email it to you. And here's the 30-day notes. So here's my 30-day athletes program notes imported into CK Cain's calendar. If I go back, here's your 30-day notes. So on day 16, you can see the summary of my 30-day athlete program day 16 notes. I'm also going to go here and I'm going to import, select Harvey Dorfman's ABCs of pitching Cliff Notes, import, and because there's a lot of them, it's going to take a little bit. So where you're going to find those two files that I imported that you can download is I'm actually going to link them right here underneath this in Essential Blocks for your calendar, so you'll be able to download those two calendars from right here. So it won't make sense when you see them until the end of the video, so hopefully you watch the whole video. Let's dominate today. Looking forward to helping you master your time blocks and be the most proficient, efficient, and productive you've ever been. Let's go.